So, from the perspective of anybody watching this on YouTube, there'll have been like no gap in time at all because it's just continued with the whole daily uploads, freaking thingamabobs. But in terms of actually streaming this game, I haven't actually hopped into this in a little bit over 2 weeks. What with a whole bunch of other games coming out of nowhere. Where's my layout thingamabob here? Oh, that was not a smooth transition at all. It just suddenly cut. OBS is supposed to fade and stuff, but it didn't this time. And I honestly haven't even done off-camera grinding in like a decent little while. Like, I did it for a good while after the last session. And then I guess this save has just been like there with that for like a good while now. And I don't actually recall it, quite frankly. So I probably did not actually make as much progress in getting new support conversations as I thought. I was honestly expecting there to be a whole bunch more there. But I know that's something that I will need to grind out is like A+ supports with different nerds and stuff like that to get skills before we get child units and yada yada and all that fun stuff. All that fun stuff. Should I turn this up a smidge? Maybe something like that. I don't know. So we're doing some late night chilling. And I was just like, hey, let's just read out some support conversations, and there aren't actually as many as I thought there would be, because I just booted this up, like, when was the last time I played it again? Like, I obviously did some stuff off camera, not as much as I thought, because my goodness, I have not touched this in a good while, because the end of April / beginning of May is where things kind of got a little bit hectic and such, what with me picking up a whole bunch of games out of nowhere. New Pokemon Snap released at the end of last month, so I wound up covering that on YouTube a whole bunch when I got the chance. Sure, let's go ahead and do that, I suppose. I wound up starting this whole... I don't think that this was something that I've mentioned on Fire Emblem Fates yet. I don't know, it's been over 2 weeks. If I have mentioned it already, then it's something in progress now. The whole Mad Lad May thingamabob. Okay, maybe I did turn that up a decent bit there. I'll turn it down to, like, there, I think. Actually, maybe like there. I just want to make sure that my voice is clearly louder than the game. So we start Mad Lad May shenanigans. So we started playing Tales of Vesperia for Guzma. We started playing Dark Souls for Mortis and such. So couldn't have done that from the beginning. Dang it. Well, there's that. In addition, earlier today / yesterday, since after midnight, just wound up finishing off Pokemon Platinum for now. Did the main game. I'll do the post game later and such. And then there's like Fire Emblem Fates. That was another thingamabob on the side. So there's been like a whole bunch of games ongoing. And, you know, Pokemon Platinum being done with for now with the main game and me taking a little bit of a break from that will be a nice, you know, break and time for me to like catch up on these other games. I'm thinking after May I'll try to not have so many things going on at once. The reason so many things are going on at once like right now is mostly because of the whole game request Mad Lad May thingy-merbob. So if I recall where we were at in our shenanigans here, I wanted to, as I was mentioning before, I wanted to develop A+ supports with various nerds to get them their A+ support skills that they would pass down to kiddos and whatnot was my plan. So I'll probably wind up continuing down that line. Also, now that I know that, you know, freaking, let's see here. Now that I know that if you use a partner seal, it'll still just give you like the same primary class set that your partner has, even if that class set is already your secondary one. So, yeah, that's good to know. I thought that if you already had, like, the class set on your person as primary or secondary, then you would get your partner's secondary class set. But turns out it's just if you share primary class sets that, you know, it defaults to the secondary. So, at some point before we start the Conquest playthrough sometime down the line, I'm thinking that I might wind up, like, redoing my Conquest spreadsheet from scratch with that new knowledge in mind. Or maybe not from scratch, but at least rethink my A supports. At least rethink that if I'm gonna, like, redo anything. In case anything, like, doesn't work out. Maybe not redo it all the way and such. Hello, Hawks. How are you How are you doing today? I saw the freaking thingamabob on Twitter that was saying that you were going to be attempting a 24-hour stream like here very soon. Like, or in the near future. I thought that you might be getting like a whole bunch of rest for that by chance. Hello, Goosebo. Hey, what's up? Not much. How are things going for you and whatnot? Ah, hold on. Whenever I use the circle pad for some reason, it's a little bit weird. Also, again, I've mentioned it before during the series, but I have like my regular 3DS here and such. But my new 3DS that I started out this freaking series with, or just before it or whatnot, I still can't find it. And like, just the other day, I freaking turned this room upside down looking for it, and I couldn't find it. So, you know, it used to be a kind of thing where it's like, oh, it's just missing, I'll find it eventually. Whereas now, I'm actually starting to get genuinely concerned about if my new 3DS is just like gone forever. So, that is, very concerning. I'm just gonna freaking skip it this time, I guess, out of force of habit. Even though we usually don't skip thingamabobs on stream, but that was a force of habit thingamabob. I've checked all over the place. I've checked like behind these shelves, behind the desk in my computer, and like everywhere in case it fell. And I have genuinely no idea what happened to my new 3DS. Like, and I'm really, really bummed out about that. I mean, it could always be at the freaking family's second place cabin by a lake if I left it out there. I could have sworn I brought it back here. And when my dad was recently out there on a weekend, I asked if he could look for it, like around my room and such out there, see if it was there. And he said that it wasn't. So, I mean, I'll have a look myself next time I'm out there in a couple weeks to help put a pier into a freshly thawed, freezing cold lake, which is going to be a massive pain, but it has to be done. So, you know, I don't know what the situation with my new 3DS is and such. But yeah, sorry, it took a bit to get here. There's a really bad storm here. I might have to call at 2 a.m. saying that there's a tornado nearby. Jeez, I have to leave soon if the storm gets worse. Call told you to take shelter and everything. It was whack. Jeez, like sending out an emergency warning in that case sounds like. Well, I hope that everything is a-okay over there. In 3 hours you'll be attempting it? You practically slept all day yesterday, only woke up like an hour ago? Jeez. When it comes to my 24-hour streams that I've done, I always woke up like maybe about 1 hour before starting it. Maybe an hour and a half sometimes. Let's go ahead and get that support. I wonder if I already had the support available and we just did the freaking stuff at the thing for like no reason. Let's just see here. One more whack ought to do it. Heave? Scarlet, what's all this racket? I've almost forgotten what it's like to read out support conversations on Fire Emblem because it's been a hot while. Hey Harmonia, what's it look like? I'm busting up rocks. I'm using the HM Rock Smash. You're breaking rocks? For fun, or? Yep, coming closer and I'll show you. You see those sparkly bits mixed in with all the dirt and rubble? They look like jewels. I'm smashing these rocks apart to get all the good stuff inside. You make your own jewelry? Interesting. You think I turn these little gems into a necklace or what have you? You met me? It's not my style at all, Harmonia. Oh, I see now. These are the rocks that you use to decorate your weapon. Give the man a prize. I'll show you how it works, but I'm out of the most important material. Love. What's that, if I might ask? Magic gunk. It sticks to anything. It's Gorilla Glue. Hashtag sponsored. Too bad. It'd be fun to give you a demonstration. Magic gunk, eh? Welp. But yeah, it turns out the tornado is 10 to 15 miles away from where you're at, so it's probably somewhere close to like 20-ish kilometers or something like that. With the all weird imperial system or whatever the heck, think you'll be fine for now. Yeah, so it's probably some decent distance there and such, but I do wish all the best over there. That can be a bit spooky, to say the least. Hello there, Rinka. Have you heard the rumors about the latest camp interest? What rumors, Kagero? Apparently, the entire camp is trying to determine who the strongest fighters are. There are no clear winners among the men, the women, or both combined. I don't distract myself with idle gossip. Oh? Even though word is you and I are top candidates. Yar? Very well. Tell me more. They say that you and I both possess incredible strength. That you are powerful while I am tactical. Even though Rinka apparently has a worse strength growth rate than freaking Sakura. There's some intense disagreement as to which of us is the stronger fighter. Normally I dislike people talking about me behind my back, but I must admit, it's nice to have my strength praised after working so hard in training. I feel the same way. I dislike the gossip, but having my skills acknowledged is a pleasant feeling. What do you think of going for a few rounds, Kagero? You mean to determine who the superior fighter actually is? Exactly. I cannot say that I personally oppose the idea. However, I serve Lord Ryoma. I cannot risk getting seriously injured. To do so and be unable to serve would be a grievous betrayal. And perhaps we could do so with a friendly sumo match instead? I've heard of it, but remind me how sumo works. There's no armor and no weapons. A test of pure skill and strength. Fighter tries to push your opponent either out of a ring or to the ground. Interesting. Very well, I accept your challenge. Since you selected the sport, I'll select the place and time. I'll let you know. Excellent. Look forward to showing you what I'm made of. Okay, but yeah, don't think you mentioned this, but you're about 5 to 7 hours in Fire Emblem Awakening. Nice. So far, you're really enjoying it. The strategies took you a while to get used to, but having fun nonetheless. Nice, I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying that. What difficulty are you playing on, if you don't mind me asking? I might have already asked this before, about what you're trying out. I think what I recommended a while back was either normal or hard mode. Something like that. Lunatic and Lunatic Plus are just straight up stupid and aren't even a test of strategy at all. They're a test of patience, honestly. Borrow, what's gotten into you? Yikes, make some noise next time so I know you're coming, Orochi. Sorry to startle you, but I wasn't really skulking around. You must have been pretty distracted not to notice me. Oh, I guess I was. Where's the upbeat Borrow I remember? Do you need someone to tell your troubles to? You just laugh. Preposterous. I've never laughed at someone going through hard times. Oh, I don't know. Seriously, don't worry about it. Tell me what's on your mind. Well, you see, it's free real estate. Alright, here goes. I was passing by the weapon shop in town and saw a set of heavy black armor. Seeing it reminded me of Nor, which made me grimace. Grimace? Is that what you call that horrible demon face you make? Yeah, that's the one. And then this little kid not far off saw me and burst into tears. Just thinking about it makes me sad. You should have seen his face. That's priceless. Hey, you promised you wouldn't laugh. No, I shouldn't have said anything. No, don't get so upset. I get a kick out of that face you make. It's very you. Oh, I hate it. It terrifies people. It's like a bad habit I just can't kick. You know, maybe there is something I can do to help. There is? Like what? Yeah, Wait, yeah, I know just what to do. Consider my apology for laughing at you. Think I'll take you up on that. Well, something's going on there. Have it on normal mode. Gotcha. Yeah, I think that's how I started out playing Fire Emblem Awakening. I actually don't know what hard mode is like at all. I've only played on normal, Lunatic, and Lunatic Plus, and that's all I know. So, you know, there's that. But glad to hear that you're enjoying it so far. Do you mind me asking what chapter you're on there? Because, I mean, the game only has, like, 25 levels, 25 chapters. I guess 26 or 27 if you count, like, you know, the end game final boss thingamabob and, like, prologue and all that fun stuff. So, like, you know, it's basically just, like, those levels and then, like, hey, well, it's done, essentially. So it's not, like, super long or anything like that. But you can absolutely, you know, take your time with freaking developing characters and freaking building up supports and all that fun stuff that the 3DS Fire Emblem games are well known for, if one chooses to. Can I talk to you, Aboro? Lord Takumi, did you need something? Last time I was in town, I happened into a big clothing store. Trying a few things on reminded me of how you coordinated my last ceremonial outfit. Everyone complimented me on my style at the time, and I remember that I never thanked you for that, so thanks. Oh, you're too kind, Lord Takumi. But selecting outfits is all part of the job of a retainer. Just say the word and I'll gladly tailor an outfit for you anytime. Really? You can do that too. Of course, tailoring runs in my family. I need a tailor. So, I'm the only one left. The Avatar, the last tailor, the last threadbender. I'm the only one left. Boro. Sorry, I didn't mean to get mopey. But yeah, bandits killed my parents a while back. I don't think much about the family business these days. You're not harboring some secret desire to become a fashion maven? You don't have to lie about it just because you're my retainer. I would never lie to you, my lord. I'm happy enough serving you, and I mean that. Now, if I said I had no interest in fashion at all, that would be a lie. But I get a thrill out of hearing people say how good I am at selecting your clothes. It shows I haven't lost my touch at making people look good. Well, wait, you make it sound like I don't look good all the time. No, that's not what I meant at all. Lord Takumi is the picture of elegance. Very few are innately noble enough to carry off such splendor. Okay, it sounds fake when you overdo it like that. I'm just telling it like it is. I'm satisfied with whatever I can do to make you look even more dashing. Well, if you say so. I'll need your help again someday, Boro. Once everything settles down and I have the opportunity to wear something nice. I'd love to help. I've got so many ideas. I look forward to seeing what you could come up with. Okay, but yeah. Game seems pretty fair on normal. Gotcha. A bit worried that there was no easy mode and thought you were screwed, but the game seems pretty fair on normal mode. Yeah, normal mode is very much like anybody can really get into it for the most part and such. And remind me, you may have to like remind me here. Is this your first Fire Emblem that you're playing, Guzma? Because I've mentioned it before, but the first one that I played was the first localized one, Blazing Sword, or just Fire Emblem as it's known internationally. And then Awakening was my second one. All right, Hana and Sakura. Hey Sakura, would you like to continue our talk from the other day? Our talk about freaking radical politics? Hello Hana, of course. I always enjoy sitting and talking with you. I've been thinking for a while. You're a really kind-hearted person to have spent your time with me. I wasn't exactly interested in all the things that someone like you would normally be. And I felt like if I could serve someone as deserving as you, I could become a samurai just as great, no, greater than my father was. That's why I worked so hard to become your retainer. Hana, when I was young, I promised myself I would faithfully serve you. I already knew I wanted to follow in my father's footsteps. Your kindness gave me a reason to achieve my goal. When it came time to select a retainer, I was told there was no rush to decide, but I immediately named you anyway. The reality is, I could make so many jokes about what this could lead into. I decided on you long before I was given the choice. Sakura. Your capabilities as a fighter were obvious, and that made you a good choice, but you are such a young girl. Several people questioned my decision because of that. No matter how skilled a samurai, they did not believe you could fulfill your duties. What? I didn't know that! And they said that a personal retainer needed experience even more than martial skill, and that, at your age, it would be impossible for you to fulfill your duties. I refused to listen to them, though. I decided, and eventually they gave up. I never knew. I'm sorry you had to go through that, Lady Sakura. Thank you so much. But why did you fight for me so hard? Well, I apologize. I remembered I have an urgent errand to attend to. Huh? And, let's continue this conversation at another time. Sure. That was oddly abrupt of her. But yeah, Awakening is her first. Maybe did suggest to play that game for. Yeah, so that sounds familiar there. Just finished the 7th chapter. Is that the one with Noe? As a bunch of people corrected me to it being pronounced when I was in high school, even though I pronounced it as like Noe for the longest time. Do you recruit her? Is that when that was? Or is that still. Or am I still losing my mind? But that means that you have a whole bunch of other spicy units like freaking Best Boy Longku and such. Yeah, I guess that's all the supports here. So much for, like, our long part about, you know, getting a bazillion support conversations like these things usually are right at the beginning. I guess this one's just gonna have to wind up being a shorter one like that. Alright, well, let's, I guess we'll go to the next chapter in a hot second. Once I go to the next chapter, though, we're gonna get, like, a bazillion, like, cutscenes in a row. So maybe I'll wait to see your response first, Guzma, so I can properly respond to it right now. The incursion one, you think? I'm gonna need to like remember what everything is and stuff, but yeah, you're just gonna gradually get a whole bunch of units. I'll say, I guess, bit by bit in each chapter. Oh, something that I should mention, Guzma. A thing, something interesting about Fire Emblem Awakening is, and Fire Emblem games in general, is sometimes, I might have mentioned this to you before, but sometimes there are certain enemies that you can recruit into your army. Like, there's certain enemies that you can recruit, and then all of a sudden they're like a character in your journey, and yada yada. And it depends from story chapter to story chapter. Like, some story chapter, there'll be one person there where if you talk to them with Chrom, then all of a sudden they join your army. Like, I believe there's one case of this in chapter 11 with a character named Tharja, a black mage, or dark mage, or whatever the heck. And I've had people who were like completely new to Fire Emblem just wind up killing her and then losing not only her, but her child unit as well because of that, like forever in their save file. So essentially, if you're playing and you notice that there's a character on the map that is like briefly in the cutscene before the battle, or they have like a unique portrait and a unique name instead of just like generic enemy or something like that, and they're not the boss, chances are you can talk to them with Chrom and they'll hop on into your army. I know that Tharj is a case of that. Are there any other cases. I mean, there's also some cases of like some green units that can be recruited. Like in that same chapter, there's a green allied unit that's just an AI that's freaking doing whatever the heck and going around attacking enemies and yada yada. But if you talk to them with Crom, then you also get that unit recruit. So, you know, if somebody has a unique portrait, a unique name, and, you know, it shows them in the cutscene just before the thing, chances are you can probably talk to them with Crom and recruit them. So, you know, don't wind up doing that. I don't know if there's any other ones than Tharja. I'm not 100% certain. There might be. There might be. So just, like, keep an eye out for uniquely named units for that reason. Is Tharja the only one? There's gotta be, like, some other one. But Tharja's the big one. Tharja's definitely the big one. I have known people that have wound up killing her and such. And if you did the first, I don't know if you've done the first paralog already, the one with the freaking villager Donald, but the only way that you can recruit him in that paralog is if he gets a level up during that paralog. Otherwise, you just, like, are locked out of him forever in that save file, and he's, like, one of the best parent units in the game. So, but yeah, how are you, though? Harmonia and Kuzma, besides the tornado, I'm doing alrighty. Glad to have finished off the first bit of Pokemon Platinum earlier today. Tired says you just finished making 4 videos that took you over 8 hours to make, but you're finally got it done. You finished 4 videos today, Kuzma. What the heck? Yeah, what now? That's a whole lot of freaking videos. But yeah, so if you haven't done Paralog 1 yet with Donald, then freaking make sure to give him a level up during that chapter, which could also just be done by, like, surrounding an archer completely so that they can't escape, like, the ring of your units, and they can't attack anybody because, you know, archers have 2 range and not the 1 range. Like, they can't counter attack or attack at 1 range, and then you just have freaking Donald poke him to death. And I know that, I think it's chapter 11. Keep an eye out for Tharja and Libra in that chapter. Just start the 3rd paralog. Okay, so I hope you got Donald then and gave him a level up, because, you know, it would kind of suck to be out on him forever. The equivalent of Donald in this game is Mozu, if I have... Here she is. The interesting thing about Donald is he has a skill that increases every stat's, like, chance of leveling up by 20% in that game. The equivalent of Donald being Mozu in this game is 10%, rather, because they were like, oh, 20% is too OP, let's do, like, 10% instead. And that's what it is. So it could be, like, a really handy skill to, like, pass down to a child unit. And also, he passes down, like, good other stuff and yada yada. Hello, Mortis. Hope you're doing well today. We were gonna do some late night talking simulator with this, but I didn't actually have as many supports as I thought I did. And I guess we're just continuing with the story now. But yeah, the other 2, I already got them already. Okay, nice. That is good to know. But yeah, so when it comes to story chapters, keep an eye out for uniquely named units that look like they might be recruitable. I think Tharja might be the only one. I don't remember if there's others, but, you know, don't kill Tharja. Talk to her with Crom and such. Look up a few guides every now and then to help you out. Gotcha. Yeah, it's good to know when somebody is, you know, possible to recruit and not be, you know, locked out of that character until the end of time and such. Alright, I think it's time that we go to the next battle.